Greetings folks, this is the ThiEYE T5e 4K Action Cam from GearBest. Now I have high hopes for the quality of this camera because it has the same sensor and chipset as the SJCAM SJ7, which I reviewed just a little while ago, and that is easily the best quality action cam that I've ever owned or used. It's a little bit cheaper. It doesn't have a touchscreen LCD, which is not such a bad thing really. So let's have a closer look at the ThiEYE T5e. Now I'll quickly go through some specs. It doesn't have as many accessories as the SJCAMs come with, and it doesn't have the touchscreen LCD, so that makes it a little bit cheaper, and it'll probably make the battery last a bit longer too. Now it comes with a waterproof housing, which is waterproof to 60 metres apparently. I very much doubt that. I think at 60 metres the buttons are going to be stuck down and you won't be operating anything. Anyway, sounds good. 170-degree field of view, 16 megapixel photo resolution, 4K 30 frames a second, which is the same as the SJ7. 1080 120 frames a second, also the same as the SJ7. It's Wi-Fi capable, so you can operate it via a smartphone app and all that sort of stuff. I'll show you all that very soon. Now, one of the big bonuses with this camera is it comes with 2 batteries. You don't have to buy an extra battery, already supplied. Brilliant. Alright, so let's have a look inside. It's quite nicely packaged in an all black box, very cool. Waterproof housing, pretty similar to every other action camera you've seen. Quick start guide, and it is only a quick start guide. It doesn't really have much information other than what the camera looks like and what the bits do. A few accessories. We have the usual sticky pad mounts, sticky pad clip mount, the clip mount clamp setup, micro USB connection cable, cleaning screen, spare battery. Take it out of the housing. You don't get a naked housing because it has a tripod mount as part of the camera. The ThiEYE doesn't have a touchscreen LCD, which I've come to think is a better idea actually, especially when using them as a hat cam. A number of times with the SJCAMs with the touchscreens, I've reached up to start the recording and I've accidentally either turned the audio off, or I've changed it to photo mode, or changed settings somehow, which has ruined the recording. For a hat cam, I would much prefer not to have a touchscreen and just have the menu buttons and the shutter button. On this side we have the micro USB connector, HDMI connector, micro SD card. That's all pretty exposed, so I guess you'd kind of have to be careful treating it roughly that you don't lose your card or get dirt in there. Shutter button and Wi-Fi button on the top, selection up and down buttons on the side, power and settings button on the front. Here's the camera door, is the battery door on the bottom, tripod mount, and it has indicator LEDs all over the place as well, and a nice little 2-inch screen. Alright, so let's have a look at the menu structure and the Wi-Fi app. So we push the button on the front to turn it on, push and hold for a little while, and we keep pushing that button to change between video mode and photo mode, or whatever photo mode you've got selected. Then replay video and replay photo, and then back to settings. So now we can choose video resolutions by pushing the top button. You go into the menu. I've got it on 1080/30 at the moment. We have all the usual high quality video resolutions, 4K 30 frames a second 16:9, Super View, which uses the sort of 4:3 full size of the sensor but stretches out the edges to give you an even wider view. Looks a bit too distorted for me. A couple of 4:3 aspect ratios, another Super View, 2.5K or 2.7 or whatever it is, 2.5, and the 1080s, 1080 120. On the SJ7 that was a little bit too grainy, I suppose, but it's not something I'd ever use anyway. 1080 60 is a very useful setting. 1080 30 is what I usually use, and all the lower resolutions as well. Photo size, you can choose different photo sizes from 16 meg 4.3, 8.3, 16:9 ratio, all very good. Video quality, photo quality, default mode. You can reset it, I suppose. Quick capture, which means that it starts shooting as soon as you turn it on. Image stabilization, I'll try that later on and show you what it's like. Motion detect. Dual files, which gives you the full size file and a smaller file to use in editing, I believe. Not something I've used. Turn the video stamp on and off. Time-lapse video, this is a lot of fun. You can choose the shooting rate and it will compile it into a video in the camera. Loop record. Self-timer photo burst, gives you a quick burst of photos at 3 frames, 5 frames or 10 frames a second each time you push the shutter button. Time-lapse photo, if you want to compile the time-lapse video yourself, you can use this mode, or if you just want to leave the camera taking photos while you're flying it on your plane or whatever, that's a good setting to have. Auto DVR, TV mode, NTSC or PAL, your local light frequency on-screen display. This is for FPV view, I guess. It'll overlay some information on the screen when you're using TV out, which I'll try later on as well. Auto shutdown, I prefer it not to shut down by itself. Screen off to save a bit of battery. A few different settings there. TV out, here we go. And that'll be for the FPV mode. Turn the beep on and off. Let's turn it on to see what it's like. Microphone volume you can put up and down. Sharpness, white balance, exposure value. You can choose different scenes, different effects, different metering. Change the date format, change the language, pair it with a remote control, I guess, and Wi-Fi. I'll show you the Wi-Fi connecting to the smartphone app in a little while. You can rename the Wi-Fi network ID if you want. Password, you can change the password, reformat the card, put back to default settings, and we're back to video resolutions. I'll show you the TV out and FPV setting now. So I'm turning it on, going to settings, find TV out, make sure it's turned on. There we go. So TV out is on. That means we're getting video out from the camera. So I'll plug in this cable. You have to buy this cable separately. I don't know where this came from. It came from a different camera, but it just happens to work. And I have a video transmitter here that's powered up. So I'll just plug this into the video feed. And there we go, we have it on screen. The on-screen display on. I'll turn the on-screen display off and show you what the signal is like. It's actually a 4.3 image, 16:9 view output to the 4.3 FPV feed, but that's pretty standard for a lot of these cameras. And you can see you can do all the setting on screen as well. There we go. Turn the on-screen display off. Get out of that, and there we have a clean screen view now. Lovely. So this camera is fine for using with FPV. Okay, let's try the Wi-Fi app. So you need to download the ThiEYE HD app. Open it up. Get a little bit of a splash screen. Now to turn the Wi-Fi on the camera, it's a long press of the shutter button. There we go. Wi-Fi is on, so now we should be able to connect. Connection failed. Come on. So make sure your Wi-Fi network is selected, the camera's Wi-Fi network I mean. Open the app. Just tips showing you which cameras use which app. Connect the camera. And there we go. And we can change all the settings, pick different resolutions. whatever you want to do, all the stuff you can do on the camera, and line up your shots, start and stop recordings, change to photo mode. Excellent. Okay, so that's enough mucking around. Let's go and take it out in the real world and shoot some video, shoot some stills, check out the gyro mode, check out the different resolutions and things like that. Not the best day for video testing. It's very dull and overcast. .4K 30p. .4K Super View. .1080 30p 16:9 gyro on. 1080 30p 16:9 gyro off. 1080 16:9 120 frames per second.